I was a manufacturer's rep for 23 years.
I was a mom and a teacher.
My undergraduate degree was in business administration, and I was an accountant for 25+ years.
I double majored in biology and chemistry in college, and then did about 3 or 4 years of cancer research.
I started out as a biology and chemistry major in college, thinking about ministry as a physician.
Before I was a chaplain, I was a teacher, and I taught high school, social studies, religion, English, French, 5th grade volleyball, and glee club.
Really, the biggest thing that chaplains do is listen, you know, whether it's with patients or with staff. Having that place where someone will listen to them and honor their feelings and their thoughts, that's pretty rare in today's world. And chaplains are trained to do that, and also to listen beyond just the words, but to listen to the spirit and the soul of the person.
I think a scripture passage that helps underlie my ministry is Matthew 25, where Jesus said, "Whatever you do for the least of these, you do for me." So I feel like ministering to those who are sick and giving a word of hope is part of what Jesus tells us to do.
The chaplain's very presence in our ministries helps us in terms of connecting always back to who we are. It really connects us back to mission. And it really brings a profound sense of grounding in the spiritual aspects of what we do.
Chaplaincy to me means being a vessel to be able to give care, especially for people that are in high-profile situations, namely end of life.
A chaplain is like a story catcher, not necessarily a storyteller, but somebody who is given the gift of being interested in and being receptive to people's stories and knowing what to do with them, knowing how to revere them and how to protect them, how to honor them, and how they sort of describe a person as a whole person.
Chaplains, again, help our associates really sort of regenerate that ability to deliver that care in a very spiritually centered way, in a very holistic way, and really truly fulfilling our mission.
My role as a chaplain is to really meet the person and really understand what is it that they're struggling with. What are their needs? What does this person need to face this night, to face tomorrow's surgery, to face this decision, to face the change in my body and my life, and to sort out the meaning of those questions for this individual.
When patients come to us to be healed, not only they come for their physical healing, they also come for their spiritual healing as well. And so as caregivers, we're really called to care for that spirit as well.
Well, it's extremely important that they be well trained, because they need to be able to deal with people in many different situations, people of all sorts of backgrounds, people who may have religious affiliation, who may not. They need to be aware of all the different underlying psychiatric or sociological problems that people may have. You have to have good training to be able to pick up on problems that we can address and help folks with.
You decide to take somebody off a ventilator and you know they're going to die, and the chaplains will come and you can gather around that bed with the family, and they will lead the prayer, and they will just be an incredible support. And that's been very important for me, to be able to kind of rely on them to come and to be present and to help with that situation.
It's an incredible ministry. Our ministry is about identifying what needs healing, where the hurts are, where the suffering is, and identifying the resources that will connect with that need and help the person find strength and hope.
They just provide so much support for the staff and for the patients, and it's just something that you can't really quantify per se as far as a dollar figure, but for the patients it really does mean a lot.
We provide spiritual and emotional support to patients and their families. We provide the same to staff. We assist in the dying process in whatever ways are appropriate. Ministry of Presence is probably what we do most, just being with families, being with staff, bearing witness to what they're experiencing, bearing witness to that which is greater than them, which is sort of the essence of spirituality.
I enjoyed working with people in the hospital and meeting people and hearing their stories. As a chaplain, I don't have an agenda that I go in and meet with them about. I go in to listen to them, to be a listening presence, to pray with them if that's what they want. And this I found very rewarding.
As chaplains, we are trained to minister to people of all faiths and those with no faith, to understand the rituals and prayers that are important to faith beyond Christian faith, Hindu, Buddhist, Jewish. My ministry is also to those who are unchurched and have no faith.
They care for the soul of the institution. They might be doing a memorial service or providing Mass, sort of finding a way to connect people to the ritual or religious services. But they also do retreats and blessings of the hands and blessing services within the hospital. Chaplains enable spirituality in a different way because they do so much to support it in everything that they do.
As a chaplain, I am an integral member of the healthcare team, which includes the doctors and nurses and social workers and so many others.
They're just an important part of the care team. They are there for the families and the patients, as well as our associates, to really bring that holistic nature of the care. It's not just a physical experience. We want to provide holistic care, and the chaplains are a critical part of that.
We found it very beneficial to use chaplains, again, not just to visit patients, but to really integrate them into improving and transforming our care delivery or the patient experience.
Well, I feel like they're an absolutely essential part of the team. They are a representation of God's presence. And so just the minute a chaplain comes in, there is an element of ease that they bring.
It's just so important that all of the emotions that are part of the stress that goes with delivering care every day have an outlet, and the chaplains are vital to that role.
They walk with people through that very important time of decision, and they can be a part of the organic process of how somebody comes to decide what they want for their life and their death.
A well-trained chaplain will be able to listen to that narrative and understand what it is the patient needs, and then as part of the team help everyone understand how to sort of match up the medical plan with the spiritual plan.
What attracted me to chaplaincy was I've had a lifelong quest to put my faith and my life together. I think it really does help put life in a spiritual and real context where faith has a chance to flourish.
I think the chaplains really serve a vital role. They provide that hope and that comfort that our medical expertise or our scientific knowledge or our technological advances cannot ever hope to provide. I think they provide an immeasurable amount of support, comfort, and even relief for not only our patients but our patients' families. I think it actually strengthens the entire institution.
They support holistic healing because, of course, they help with the spiritual care. They help with the emotional part. They do a lot of things for us.
It's a wonderful work. It's very rewarding, and it's also very humbling to be able to walk with people during some of their most vulnerable times in their lives.
I have had patients that need to make peace with God, and the chaplains, again, bring that wholeness to who we are.
My mom would not have ever talked to a priest, I mean, really. So I thought that was really great, that he was a lay person. And when he, he left his own family in the middle of the night to come say a prayer with us right after my dad had passed away, that was really, really amazing.
That Kim really was there to step up and help us get through that and to remind us that the Lord is there and He works in mysterious ways. The hospital interface that I had dealt with was wonderful, but had never really had a need for the chaplain services. And when Kim came in and was there from the get-go, it was wonderful having somebody there right by your side every step of the way.
What you learned about working with people in the role of pastoral care in a healthcare setting is that you don't get to fix anything. But yet that's the beauty of what you're called to do too, which is it's more about being than doing.
Chaplains are remarkable people because they uniquely are able to sit at a bedside, be with families in a way, to be a compassionate, calming, listening presence. They're oftentimes in situations that many of us find uncomfortable or awkward, but they're able to be there.
I think sometimes people might be leery of being in a ministry in a hospital because of illness and sickness and death and all those things that are often not comfortable things for us to talk about in our society, in any society, dealing with the sadnesses of life. And at the same time, it's such a privilege to be with people in those moments that's what I would encourage young people, people in second careers, people who are retired, who have always thought about going into ministry or wanting to give back in some way, that chaplaincy is a wonderful vocation.
It's an incredible ministry.
I enjoy it. I really do. It's a wonderful work. It's very rewarding, and it's also very humbling.
It is deemed to be a blessing, and I'm blessed to be here.